Tell me if this sounds like you. You boot up your stream, pray to get more viewers, stream endless hours talking to no one. Maybe an art seller disguised as a viewer pops in and tries to be your friend, only to find out that they're just trying to sell you a scam. God, I freaking hate those guys. And you end your stream only to be stuck in the very same place that you were before. That sucks, dude. But you're not alone, because I've been there before, and there's one rule that I want to teach you that's going to completely change your streaming career in order to prevent this. I've broken up the rule into 3 easy sections so we can easily learn it, and it consists of experimentation, consistency, and improvement. Is it really that simple? Listen, you know who you're listening to, right? As someone who reads at a 4th grade level and enjoys a good Goosebumps book from time to time, it's really that easy. So let's break each section down into 3 easy digestible steps and explain how we can actually apply these to our streams. And don't skip any of these steps because they all work in conjunction with each other. But let's start with experimentation. As a streamer, there's so many different things that we can experiment with. And if we're starting with the absolute basics, the first thing that we can experiment with is a game. What I would do is pick a handful of your favorite games, and they can be completely different games. Like if you want to play Path of Exile or Marvel Rivals or World of Tanks, like those are 3 completely different games. We got an RPG, a fighter, and a shooter. Now, obviously, if we switch between these games and we get an audience, chances are that audience that followed for Path of Exile will not want to watch Marvel Rivals, but you're not going to know which game is going to give you the biggest audience or the best audience until you actually give them a shot. Another thing that we can experiment with are different time slots. So you can even try the same game, but with different time slots, because I guarantee you that people that are streaming Trackmania or Minecraft at, let's say, 2 p.m. Central are not going to be the same people streaming Minecraft at 8 p.m. Central. So just because you're not having success with one specific game at a certain time does not mean that it's not possible to grow an audience at the same game, but just at a different time, because everyone has different schedules. You can also use this free tool called Sully-Gnome, which will give you a bunch of different data on different games at different times with different average viewer ratios and all that. So you can really get into the nitty gritty and see which games are going to pop off and which games are less likely to pop off. And there are no guarantees with this. It's just going to give us more data and more insight to make more educated decisions. But also with experimentation, experiment with different titles. A lot of the things that people can easily improve with their streams and getting more people to click on their streams is simply their title. Like, look at all these streams: untitled broadcast, untitled broadcast, untitled broadcast, untitled broadcast. Like, look at all this. I'm pretty sure these are all bots. I don't even understand why those are there. That's kind of weird. But that is literally 0 effort into the title. You could experiment with different titles, like different challenges, like stream can't end until we beat the Ender Dragon, or speedrunning Minecraft, or different titles that are just going to spark curiosity to make people more willing to want to click on your stream. You can even take it a step further and play different things that aren't even games. Like you can see here, we did a mystery food care package that we got from one of my viewers, and so we ate all of the different things on stream, which included, but was not limited to, really old duck eggs. I think we got anchovies and a couple other nasty things. Or you can see here where I literally did a haircut stream. I cut my hair live on stream, even though I was primarily a horror streamer through this section of my streaming career. And then I switched it up for a little Christmas subathon where we played a bunch of Nintendo games. And then I switched it up even more by speed running Ring Fit Adventure, and at one point I had 2nd placed world record for Ring Fit Adventure for the first world, which since then has been completely demolished, but at the time I was 2nd place in the world, so that was cool. Can't believe how much credibility that gave me on the dating apps at the time. Spoiler alert, it didn't. And as we all know, as a streamer, you want to experiment by making more additional content over on like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikToks, as I've been preaching on the channel for the past several months. So you can also experiment with different titles, different ideas, different games, different everything with those shorts as well. Because until you actually find a format or a game or literally anything that's actually going to work, you're just going to be streaming the same crap over and over again, not getting any results. Because we all know the definition of insanity, which consists of eating Taco Bell at 2 a.m. and praying that you don't destroy your bed by the time you wake up. So the moral of the story here is to keep experimenting with different formats, niches, games, times, etc., especially when you're not reaching the goals that you have set for yourself. Because doing the same thing over and over again that's not working is going to continue not to work. However, after you experiment enough, you're likely going to find a format, game, time slot, all of that stuff that's going to work at least better than the others. Which brings us on to part number 2, which is consistency. That means once you've gone to college and gone through your experimentation phase, you've likely found a format, a game, a time slot, whatever, a theme that worked best for you, at least better than the other options. And this is the time to double down and be consistent. So that means that if you got really good success doing the Kingdom Hearts series, so you're playing Kingdom Hearts 1, you got a lot of viewers, you play Kingdom Hearts 2, you got even more viewers, it's time to double down and play Kingdom Hearts 3 and the rest of the series, because that's what your audience wants and enjoys, so you might as well reap the benefits of it and keep the ball rolling while you have it rolling. So that means you got to double down and be consistent by making short form content on your stream content, because clearly something's working here, and now you got to find a way to make it work on the other platforms, which is going to give that ball an even giant more push of momentum to keep the ball rolling faster. Because the one thing that really matters the most when you're streaming is consistency, because what we're trying to essentially do is we want to create a habit for our viewers to keep coming back and watching our stream. And we're able to accomplish that by making a stream schedule and being consistent, because if you stream X amount of days a week and you keep it consistent and do the same thing next week and next week and next week, then your viewers will slowly develop their habits of putting your stream in their weekly schedule, which is ultimately how you grow a following, because they know that they can count on you because you're consistent. However, if you stream 3 times a week and you cancel twice a week, it's going to really shoot yourself in the foot, because you're losing that consistency and your viewers aren't building that habit for watching your stream, which is going to hurt you in the long run, which is why you hear every single content creator preaching about how consistency is so valuable, because it's one of the core principles of building our foundation as a content creator. The biggest problem with consistency and why 99% of streamers fail and quit is because people start streaming and think that it's super la-di-da easy, because they'll go and spend all the time building their channel, you know, getting everything looking and sounding nice, only to realize when they hit the go live button and nobody's there that like, oh crap, that wasn't as easy as I thought. I actually have to do work to make this successful. And then they give up because they're like, oh, I didn't think streaming was going to be hard. I don't want to do that, because they'll stream for a week, a month, a couple months, not see any results and not make any changes, and then just give up because they weren't willing to put in the work that needs to be done in order to actually grow a following. And like I said earlier, these principles all work together, because if you're consistent but not constantly experimenting until you find something that works, you're literally wasting your time. Because if we have Joe Schmo over here who's streaming Minecraft at 2 p.m. Central and isn't seeing any results, but they're consistently streaming every single day at the same time, not getting any viewers, then their stream's still gonna fail, because they're doing consistency, but they're not doing experimentation. So it's really important that you use these principles together, because in order to build a brand on Twitch, you simply just can't play in your underwear anymore. Gosh, I miss those days. Which leads us to our next principle, which is improvement. I always preach on this channel that you should always try and make each piece of content 1% better than your last one, because 1% better is super easy to achieve and isn't very intimidating at all. Could be something as simple as adjusting your audio levels or speaking with a cadence, so that way it's a little bit more enthusiastic and easy to listen to. Or it could be setting up some LED lights in the background like we have here, or adding a key light to point towards your face so you don't look like butthole. Because even though you might be improving very slowly at 1% each time, over time, long term, you'll notice a drastic difference from when you first started. And it's likely going to perform miles better than it did the first time. Now, I cannot guarantee you that you're going to have success overnight, a week from now, a month from now, a couple months from now. Everyone's results are going to be drastically different, and they're really going to vary on amount of time that you put in and the amount of work you put in. However, if you stick to the 3 main principles, which is experimenting, consistency, and improvement, then over time you will start to see long-term success and results. So don't be afraid to try new games, new time slots, new formats, new themes, new ideas. And once you find something that's actually starting to work, double down on that content, because you know it's already giving you results, so you want to take advantage of that. Put that in combination with making each piece of content 1% better than the last, and you're going to be golden. And using all of these principles together, you will set yourself up for a successful long-term streaming career. So if you want to keep improving your stream, then watch this video to the side of me. I'm going to give you a bunch of tips and tricks to keep improving your stream. My name's Cody, and I will see you in the next one.